What is up, everyone? I got game 2 of the Aces Series 1 2020 End Cap Tournament. We have Andrew, his list on the left there. He's playing Rebel, 200 points. And then Josh, Rebels, 199. It's the same list, same Josh as game 1. Like I said in the previous game, this is the top table of the tournament. And we are... this is the second round, obviously, and whoever's doing the best in the tournament is playing on this table. So all right, Andrew's list. We've got Wedge Antilles at 58 points with elusive S foils. Jack Porkins with elusive S foils again, 48 points. 10 Num, 50 points with just the B-Wing S-foils, and Tauber with 44 points. And he's got just the configuration card on Tauber. And then on the other side, Josh, he's got Lando Calrissian with Neum Num whole upgrade. This is pretty solid because Lando and Neum Num, they play off each other very well in the sense that Neum Num gives them extra blue maneuvers. Lando gets a free action for doing a blue maneuver. And then that whole upgrade, it's the Falcon is already enough to chew through. But now whenever you're throwing a free action in there, so you can almost guarantee the dude is sitting on like a focus, then it can become pretty annoying because anytime you play against these big ships and they have one dice and you're thinking like, oh man, they only have one dice, I'll be able to kill it really fast. And then they just consistently get an evade out of it because of focus or they just naturally roll an evade, which is my experience to my great frustration. Anyways, they can stick around. So a whole upgrade on there. It's a little, I don't know, it's kind of offensive to me, but it's good. All right, yeah, 10 Num, marksmanship, auto blaster cannons, the B-Wing stabilized S-foils, and then Braylon and the B-Wing, same build, and those two things are just nasty as ever because the S-foils allow him to attack with the primary attack and then follow up with the auto blaster attack, and then the 10 Num and Braylon both playing off their stress, which plays perfectly into what the B-Wing can do, being slow and chunky, but they can almost force a stress every single time and link it to something good. I think they can link. I think what it is, they can link barrel roll into a target locker focus, I believe. I haven't played B-Wing or anything but Scum in second edition X-Wing, so a little rusty, but either way, they can force that stress and they can get that trigger going off pretty much every time. But I am excited to watch this game. I am very excited. Andrew is a great player, and Josh is a great player. So I am looking forward to a good game, see who comes on top. I can say that I played Josh. I am not recording this live, I am not speaking over this, commentating over it live. This is after the fact. I was actually playing in the tournament, and it's a good tournament, great tournament. I'm actually playing on the next table over during this game, but I played Josh's list, and it was tough. It was really tough. He won, and it was pretty tough. So it's a good list. And me and Andrew, we go tit for tat all the time, and so we have a little rivalry going, and it's always a super stressful, close, great game every time that I play Andrew. So yeah, I'm looking for. I think both these players are going to be pretty cagey. They're going to be. They're probably going to bring all their stuff in at one time, and I imagine that first engagement could be pretty devastating. Looks like Andrew, he's going pretty fast here though. I think he's trying to get around that that gas cloud so that he can maneuver how he wants to maneuver. You really got to plan ahead with those gas clouds. You gotta look forward and see. If you're new to X-Wing, pay attention to these words. You have to look forward. You have to see where those rocks are, or those obstacles. See and just imagine where the engagement is going to happen, and then how many turns it's going to take to get there. And because there's so many times where I've lost the only game I lost at Crate Cup 4. So for my first Crate Cup to go to, it was a great time. I lost one game and it was really close, and I know exactly how I lost it is because I went just like one speed too fast around a rock, and it put my big ship out of position, left my other ships out to dry, and the opponent I was playing was really good and punished me for it. And it was just like one speed, didn't read the rock right, and you gotta have that prophetic sense about you in X-Wing, which is why I love it. So anyways, if you are wondering what the Ace series is and the NC.This tournament, so it's just a league that we have at our local shop, our local Hobbytown, and I think it goes like 3 or 4 rounds for league, and I think this league that this NC.This tournament is NC.Capping for, they were doing some weird, I didn't get to play in it, but they were doing some weird scenarios and stuff, so it seemed like a really fun time, kind of a different take on the normal just straight 200 points v 200 points X-Wing, but of course we're playing just straight competitive X-Wing here at the tournament. But yeah, anyways, this is the tournament that leads off into, or that ends said league. We usually have 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of these series per year, so that's why it's Ace Series 1. Hopefully we'll have another Ace Series 2 NC.Capp tournament, and 3 and 4. But anyways, I can say that currently the standings, Josh is leading the league, or he won the league. And so now we're seeing who wins the tournament. But yeah, all right. So U-Wing has got his wings swept back, moving in. I do have to say that every time I play Andrew, every time I play Andrew in 2nd edition, in 1st edition, he had kind of a different thing going on. He'd always run like 3 defenders, like every single time. But here he's changed up a lot of his list, and I always have trouble myself picking out what should I go for first, because he does a really good job of mitigating damage across his ships, denying you that ability to like focus down. He usually brings pretty durable lists, and I think you can see that here. We've got the U-Wing's durable, the B-Wing's durable, lots of shields, and then both the 2 X-Wings, even though it's just 2 shields and 4 hull, they have a way of sticking around, and especially with that elusive. I think Andrew has done a deal with the devil concerning elusive, because he just gets it all the time. And like I say, man, one dice per throw being an evade over the course of a game it can easily change the game. You can easily just keep that ship in the game one more time, or just enough to where you can't kill it, and then it loops around and you have to focus on some other things, because like I said, Andrew being a good player, he's really good at doing that, and then you don't have a chance to focus down on like the weakened ship because he's coming at you with his other ships, and you have to turn and face them or else you're gonna die. Yep. So, all right, we're getting closer. But like I said, I imagine both these players, they're going to bring it in at the same time, and it's going to be pretty brutal. All right, one forward on that B wing. And yeah, so he's got 10 num. And again, both those B wings, 10 num and Braylon on the other side, and then 10 num on Andrew's side. They've just got just great ability to their ability, like I was mentioning before, to force a stress is just huge. I think Braylon, while he's stressed, he can re-roll. It's like a free target lock basically, and then 10 num can spend a stress to what is it, turn like a blank to a hit or something like that. And that's double fold, because not only do you get to spin the stress to change a dice to something good, you're spending the stress, which means you don't have it for the next round, which means that you can go your 3 forward, or your 2 hard or 2 bank or whatever that is normally not blue, or that is not blue. Now you don't have to worry about it, and you can get the stress ability, token up 10 num to the fullest capacity, and then not even worry about the next round, not be punished for that sort of power up. All right, so I think this next turn is the turn. I think it's gonna happen. I'm excited. Yeah, so I think Andrew's gonna blow past that gas cloud. So I think what he was doing was trying to get ahead of it so that he can have maneuverability after that first engagement. But that long gas cloud, and just gas clouds in general, them giving you a green dice, giving you an evade result. I don't know. To me, it's like easy mode. It's so good. I love it when gas clouds are brought. I never end up bringing them. I like to bring big rocks just because I don't put too much thought into my obstacle strategy. But anyways, yeah, no, especially that long one, how long and linear it is, you can pretty much make sure that you're going to end up being obstructed if you need to. I usually, if you ask anyone from this league, from this store, the ships that I always fly, there's probably, I'm going to say 100% of my list have either Guri or Finn or both. I'm an addict. I can't help it. But if you've ever played Finn or Guri, or if you played against them, especially Finn, they have a tendency to just die, in the most frustrating possible ways. It's like if you can ever catch them not in range 1, he's done. He's gonna fail all of his dice. He might be throwing 6 dice because it's like range 3 and threw like 2 different rocks and everything. He's gonna blank out. It's just gonna happen. But if he's at range 1, he's gonna get all the green dice. You're not gonna kill him at all. In fact, this tournament it was Finn, Guri, and Finn, Guri. What was my Finn, Guri, and Zuckus. Well, anyways, yeah, my opponent had 3 of his Arc 170s at range 1 of Finn, and he didn't do any damage. It's just ridiculous. But anyways, when you're playing something like Finn or other ships, and you take a damage, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die this next turn, and you can go and run behind that giant linear gas cloud. Can really help. All right, we are totally getting into it here. There will be some bloodshed this turn. Mark my words. So Hef has already moved, and I'm kind of interested because the way Andrew's other ships are lined up, it's about to be a massive bump fest. I don't. Because if he does all those bumps, I don't see a way for him to get actions. It looks like Josh is... All right. Josh is measuring target lock, so that, I believe that one's Jack Porkins. Just got locked up. Yeah, I don't see them not having a complete bump fest here. So we'll see how that works out. That would worry me. I trust Andrew in that he is a very experienced, good player, that was not just an oversight. But that my spidey senses are tingling. All right, Josh coming in with, I think that's 10 numb. And you can bet he's about to do some barrel roll, and he's probably going to do a focus. Yep, there we go, focus barrel roll. And if you're wondering what I'm queuing off of, I have the audio going. I unfortunately had to turn down pretty much all the audio in the actual in the video, the YouTube video, because God help my local crew, but there was much profanity. So yeah, sorry if you really just want to hear the table talk. I can promise you it's not that exciting. But so we got that focus barrel roll with the stress, forcing that stress. So the B-wings are powered up and they are ready to go. And yep, here we go with the bump fest. I gotta say, unless he realized he didn't want. Okay, I could see Andrew realizing that he doesn't want this fight right now, that he's not able to get around that rock efficiently enough to get enough of his guns in the fight. So I could see him plopping that U-wing there to force bump everything, to give him an extra turn where all his valuable stuff, aka not the U-wing, would easily be at range 3. And I think even the U-wing would be, well, Lando hasn't moved yet, but I imagine that's probably going to be a range 3 shot from Lando, and probably Lando will be out of range of everything else, I imagine. So I could see that. That could have been what Andrew was thinking. All I know is that you don't want to be at range 2 of those freaking B-wings because of that S-foils nonsense. That you just light you up. So I wonder if 10 num up there, the top left B-wing with the focus token, that's looking like a range 2 shot, probably through a rock, being obstructed, and so that would be good that he's not getting that double auto blasterness. The other one, I'd have to say that's probably definitely a range 2 shot, so the U-wing might bleed a little bit if he chooses to focus fire on the U-wing. And if you saw the last game, Josh's list definitely has the ability to knock big ships out in a single turn. He took out two fire sprays, 10 health ships, one at a time, one in the first engagement, completely gone, the next engagement, completely gone. So this list has all the firepower available to it at that range 2 and in. And it is really nasty at range 1. All right, here we go. Got Wedge shooting at Braylon. And he got a shield on him. And if you're unfamiliar with Wedge just takes away green dice from the opponent. That's why Braylon has a range 3 shot, but he only rolled 1 green dice. And Wedge is a late game menace. If you cannot kill him early on, like he will make you wish that you did, just because taking away that green dice can really, really hurt, especially over time. All All right, Lando shooting at Hef. He got 2 shields off of Hef. Hef. All right, we'll be looking for... So I think Josh has initiative here, so looking at Braylon. Let's see who he chooses. All right, he's focusing fire down on Hef. I think that's probably a solid choice, especially being at range 2. He can double tap Hef. Easily capable of killing it right out the gate. All right, we got Tin Num going into Hef, a wounded Hef. All right, and he's able to proc marksmanship on that one, turning one of his hits to a crit. And Andrew dodges cleanly that range 3 through a rock. Well, I wonder if they... Might have been range 2. All right, Jack going into Braylon. Got 1 hit out of it. And 1 dodge. To Numb at Braylon. There's that reroll from just being stressed. I just think that's, oh my goodness, that's just so ridiculous. Just being able to reroll stuff because you're stressed and you can force a stress pretty much every single turn. I'm not hating on it. I just hate it. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's that Braylon reroll. All right, so we got Braylon's shields cleared. And that is not a good position for a B-Wing to have his shields clear. I mean, half of its health is shields, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. But I think compared to like a lot of the other ships that you usually play with, you feel you get so used to the ratio being, more hull. I mean, just like look at the Falcon, how many shields versus hull and stuff. I guess you get used to it where you're like, all right, I'm still sitting on some pretty good, but no, with the B-Wing and with that 1 agility, that 1 dice and 4 hull, I mean, you could just get popped by almost anything out there. It's just so easy to die like that. I mean, I'm used to running, like I said, a Finn, which is 4 hull, no shields, but it's got some mad defense ability. Not to mention three agility dice, but if you get him at range 1, then he's just not dying. A B-Wing doesn't have that, so it's very, very hurt B-Wing once that happens. But we will see. I would say right now, I think Josh lost out on that. I think he was hoping to put a lot more damage onto Hef. But that's definitely not good for him, that he almost lost one of his B-Wings. And he could easily lose Braylon in this next turn. Braylon does not have the agility, not to mention being stressed, to get away from this flock of Andrew's list right there in the middle of that board. I'd be surprised if Braylon doesn't die this turn, which if Josh doesn't come back and take something important off of Andrews, that could hurt really bad. Because that's a huge strength with Andrew's list right now, is that he has 4 different ships, right? So if you removed the U-Wing, right, and you had Wedge, Jack, and Tin Num all upgraded up, which is what I usually end up doing, is I just end up having 3 aces or high initiative lists with, upgrades. But there's just so much more to chew through with that extra ship on there. Even it being, an initiative 2 U-Wing, that's nothing to shake a stick at, Like, the U-Wing has the ability to do some really unexpected things with its dial, and then its configuration thing where it can turn around on the spot. It can do some really unexpected things. It has 3 attack. I think it's a really underrated ship. It has a good dial. And then you have the other 3 ships that are all in themselves dangerous. So Josh is at a rut. He really needed to win that first engagement. Because Andrew has staying power. I think Andrew has more staying power than Josh. But we will see. Like I said, I played Josh, and Josh got me pretty convincingly. He rolled like a freaking wild banshee, but I had a lot of trouble with this list. And I killed 10 Num. Yeah, I killed 10 Num in the first engagement, easy. And he still, yeah. I was not happy after that game, but nevertheless. All right, here we go. And another strength, again, with X-Wings and whatnot. X-Wing and B-Wing is that they are better slow, versus like a lot of the Imperial ships, the Fang, as I mentioned, a lot of those which are high maneuverability, often have a lot of firepower, so they're very tempting to take. They're not good slow. If I was having the Fang in this situation right now, I'd be having to like fly away, probably, or I would just get all into this bump fest going on. I'd be bumping everywhere, which is probably be exactly what Andrew or Josh would be trying to get me to do, and to kill Finn. But with the X-Wings and the B-Wing, they can just go nice and slow. They can do their 1-speed maneuvers and just kind of putt around and bring death and destruction upon their enemies. All right, Braylon changing his. Lando. Target lock and hef. Yeah, that's a pretty convincing. It's a pretty convincing range 1 shot. And then with Lando Neon Numbness. Actually, I don't even think he needed the Neon Numb. It was just like a 1 straight. But anyways, the blue maneuver gives him a free action. So he got to target lock and focus. Something I miss doing dearly from 1.0 with push the limits. However, I'm not saying we should go back to 1.0, but it was a lot of fun until it got broken, which it did. It totally got broken. I'm happy. I'm way more happy with 2.0. Anyways, you're not here to listen to me. You're here to watch this game. All right, so going into the engagement, Wedge shooting straight up into a wounded Braylon. This has got to be an uncomfortable moment for Josh. So Josh does have initiative, so he'll be able to shoot first. So if he doesn't kill him, which he's not going to, I don't think he got any crits. The only way for him to kill him would be to get that, direct hit, or whatnot. But anyways, 1 hole left on Braylon. So Braylon's going down. He's got a range 1 shot from 10 Num and from Jack Porkins lined up. So Braylon's done. Like I said, him getting that initiative, he gets to shoot first, which he's doing. Excuse me. Braylon is not shooting. Lando is shooting. My bad. Yep, range 1 shot. We got fuel leak. Fuel leak. It was a hit and a crit, and the crit was fuel leak. That hurts. You want that fuel leak to be the last, like the second to last one, or like hull breach or something. Oh man, I remember playing playing Kyle. If you've watched the ZuluNet videos, you know who Kyle is. And he had the slaver. And if you have played against it, has a million hull, just like this Falcon does. And I got hull breach on the very first hull, and I killed it in one turn because it just chain linked from there all the way to its death. It was ridiculous. All right. I believe it's Braylon shooting. Oh, excuse me. Tin Num. I think Tin Num. Oh, does he? Who's he shooting? Oh, he's going. Yeah, that's what it is. He's going after Wedge. And which he has the auto blasterness triggering, and he looks to be outside of Wedge's arc, which means that he. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's one of the hits or crits, whichever one it is, he can't evade because he's outside of his arc. All right, Braylon spent that focus for 4 hits. Ooh, blanked on the green dice. He's spending elusive. Here we go. Watch this. It's Andrew. Yep, there he goes. Deal with the devil still going strong. That was going into Jack. And we got damage sensors for the critical on Jack. All right. Following up with the auto blaster with the from the S-foils, the S-foilness. Got hit and 2 crits. Oh, this is going to be rough. I think that's a dead Jack. Yep, that's a dead Jack. Jack is dead. All right. From the throes of death, Jack will fire back at Braylon. Ooh, with a vengeance. That's a dead Braylon. Yeah. So if you're new to X-Wing, basically, if you'll notice the numbers next to the pilot names on the list, the Jack Porkins is initiative. That's the pilot skill or initiative level, whatever it's called nowadays. But Jack is 4. Braylon is 4. Braylon killed Jack, but because before he got to shoot. However, because Jack is the exact same pilot skill, they shoot at the same time, so Jack still gets to. It's called simultaneous fire. He still gets to shoot. So Jack still got to shoot back and killed Braylon, which was gonna happen. But that's good for Andrew, not in the fact that he lost Jack. Josh really needed to drop a ship, so that is good for him. Andrew's got a wounded Ewing and a dead Jack. But anyways, it was also good for Andrew in the sense that Jack got to kill Braylon so that Tin Num could shoot into Tin Num could shoot into Tin Num, and which he did, and got two shields off Tin Num there from Josh's Tin Num. Yeah. So this is interesting. We got Tin Nums left. Again, Josh needed to do what he needed to do. Andrew took a lot of damage there. Dead Jack, and then 2 off of Wedge, and then 2 more off of Heftauber. But a dead Braylon and 2 off of Tin Num. I think that even though Josh has more health still on the board, I think Andrew still has that staying power because he has more options there with 3 ships than 2, which means Josh has to, waste time essentially running around another ship. There's 2 other ships out there being able to shoot him be able to lay down some firepower on him. But this game is definitely not over. Close, but not over. All right, Ewing doing a little one bank. I wonder, he's probably thinking of maybe blocking Lando so that I think he gets the free action off. I see he'd still get the free action off the blue maneuver if he doesn't, but if he gets blocked, he's not going to get his normal action. So I'd have to look at how that card is exactly worded, but I think that he would still get that maneuver action. We'll see how it goes. And of course, again, if you are new to X-Wing, the way that maneuver works is you move in reverse order. So you'll notice that U-Wing at initiative level 2 moved first. So your lower initiatives move first, your higher initiatives move last, and then shooting, it reverses where your higher initiatives shoot first and your lower last. And that completely makes sense in the sense that your more experienced pilots are going to be able to have the time to, or at least have the intuition, have the gut, the skill to be able to tell where the lower inexperienced pilots are going to go and be able to kind of, operate off of that. And then they're going to be shooting first because they are steely-eyed rocket men. All right, so flying through that asteroid field, he double stressed up. All right, 10 num. Andrew's 10 num is just going to stay there because he cannot clear Josh's 10 num. I wonder how awkward of a moment this is for those 10 nums. Like this would just psychologically be extremely frightening to realize. I mean, because they're really close. They got to see that they are indeed the same person, or I don't know what race 10 num is and how they go by. The same Z, if you will. All right, so Josh predicted that Ewing be in there and flew fast, which is good. It's good in the sense that if he bumped, I think Andrew's 10 num would have still had a shot right there on him. And then with the Millennium Falcon having that bow tie, Josh has kept that bow tie on the side arcs the whole time, and those side arcs on the large base ships are just massive. You cannot get away from them. Again, another bane of my existence right there represented in those side arcs because, again, going back to Finn, he lives at range 1 in the front arc. And when you're flying a ship against a ship like that can just broadside you the whole time and can actually go really freaking fast. It's basically impossible to get into that front arc. Yeah, it's another pretty good reason why I lost against this list in this tournament. But anyways, Josh, as you can see, really good Millennium Falcon operator. All right, Wedge just barely has 10 num, Josh's 10 num in his sights. And what are we gonna do? All right, spinning the focus for 3 hits to a no dice roll on 10 num. Again, that wedge is just killer. It reminds me, I'll fly Guri without maneuver. I mean, and it is just so killer going against one dice, one agility ships, because you just, cool, I got a good roll, and your opponent just has to take it, and there you go. You see it. Josh just taking it because Wedge takes away. Wedge is the king of outmaneuver. So we got 3 health left on Tin Num. However, because Andrew's Tin Num is touching Josh's Tin Num, and Heftauber is off taking a tour of the galaxy, Tin Num will not be dying this turn. So here we go. We've got Lando. And I will say, though, that the bump advantages goes both ways. I think both players would probably rather just shoot at each other. Maybe Andrew would definitely want to be shooting here, but they've bumped themselves in such a way that neither of them can shoot at anything. They're just so preoccupied with pondering the complexities of life in the Star Wars galaxy, seeing as they are indeed the same person. All right, dials down for the next round, and I know I don't have a timer up. I will say the next game 3 and 4, I've upped my game as far as my X-Wing video-ness, and we'll have a timer. We'll have the cool. It's going to look better. It's going to be better. So, however, no timer in this game. I can tell you that we are a little less than halfway through. And again, if you're new to X-Wing or competitive play, the matches are an hour and 15 minutes long. And if you... I got the U-Wing. Let's see, there it is. There it is, that flipperoo, flip on the spot. That thing can just catch someone really off guard. All right, but anyways, timed, obviously, you just want to kill all of your opponent, but if you don't, and the time goes down, you finish whatever round you're on, and then you count off points. You score full points for a dead ship, so like Braylon so Andrew would score 58 points for Braylon, and Josh would score 48 points for Jack, but you also get half points if you kill more than half of the ship. So Andrew would score half of Josh's Tin Nums points, and Josh would score half of Heftauber's points. So that's how that works. And a lot of times these games, especially these close ones, they will go down to time, and then it'll be like 5, 10, maybe even less amount of points that make up the difference, which is it's interesting because in most tournaments they take a margin of victory, MOV, into account, which means like, so if I killed all of my opponent, all 200 points of his list, and he didn't get any of my ships half point, then my margin of victory is 400. I think if I'm doing it right, it kind of confuses me sometimes. But 400 because he didn't kill any of my points and I killed all of his points. So the gap between where we both ended at is 400 points. Versus if he killed like 50 points, then the margin of victory would be 350 points if I killed all of the opponent's points. So anyways, these close games, you never know. It could be solidly in someone's pocket, and then the last 2 turns, you get your opponent's like other 2 ships or something, or remaining ships at half points, and then you win because you had 1 hole left and he didn't score half points on one of your ships or something like that. Like you never know. All these good games, they really go down to the wire most of the time. All right. So the U-Wing flipped around. Lando doing his loop-de-loop around the rink. Wedge doing a K-turn. And let me see. Andrew's 10 num flying out. So again, you cannot, even though it's an initiative 2 and it's a Ewing doesn't get a lot of love. You got to respect it at a moment like this of being able to flip around, and I think that might be a range 1 shot. Let's see. Not sure yet, but I think Josh's 10 num is out. But I think Heftopper's got a range 1 shot because he can just flip around like that. It's pretty nasty. Let's see. Doing some weird angleness going on. Trying to figure out who is in whose arc. So the death dealing can commence. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of death dealing. So I think Wedge is out of range and arc. Andrew's 10 num is out of range and, out of arc. Josh's 10 num is out of arc. The only shot would be Lando and Hef. Range 3. All right, so Lando, I think going into Hef, trying to kill him, which is a good call. It's the only shot coming back at you, and you could easily do it. Oh, dodged 1. So, got 2 on Hef. He's got 1 left, and that's all you can ask for in that situation, honestly. All right, so Andrew told me about this. Got a little mix-up going on as far as the rules and the configuration. So the way it works, if you'll notice with the U-wing, how it had its wing swept back and then he flipped them forward. It's configuration. So with the wing swept back, or I forget what the pivot wing, when it's open, he can roll an extra agility dice, and I think he rolls like 1 less attack dice or something like that. I know for a fact that it's one more agility dice, excuse me. With them closed, he rolls 1 less agility dice, but I think 1 more attack dice. The confusion here, he closed it, he rolled 3 dice, then he thought because it was closed, he shouldn't have rolled 3 dice, and so he thought that he died, but then he remembered, then they remembered that they were at range 3, so he should have rolled 3 dice. So the roll was good, and Heftopper only has 1 left. Heftopper shooting at 10 num, taking 1, and we have a 2 health 10 num. So yeah, Josh really needed to kill Hef. It might be okay in the sense that if he needs to, he could probably easily kill Hef before he gets a chance to shoot. However, we only have 2 ships left. And let's see if Wedge there can get around, which he might be able to, and take 10 num off before he gets a chance to shoot. Then, and let's say if Lando, if he needs to spend his shot to shoot Hef and kill Hef before he gets to shoot, that's 1 shot that's not going towards a wounded Wedge or a completely unwounded 10 num. And even though Lando is sitting on full health with an extra hull upgrade, I can tell you with 10 num and especially Wedge, with Wedge running around, that can go away extremely quickly. So yes, it is. Josh really needed to kill Hef. It's either going to take away 1 of his shots from his 2 remaining ships, or he's going to focus on like the wounded Wedge, maybe probably not kill him, and because he just re-upped his elusive with that 4K turn. probably not kill him. And then Hef gets to shoot again and then is still alive for another round. So it's just interesting. Another thing that is, you have to remember with the B-Wing stress build with the Braylon and the Tin Num, is a great thing with the B-Wing is that it has a 2K turn. So I bet you we're going to see a 2K from Andrew's Tin Num. But since Josh's Tin Num, since he's still stressed, he won't be able to do it. Also, since Tin Num did not get to shoot since he was just out of arc, then Josh didn't even get a chance to get the chance, because with Tin Num you can spin the stress, right? So that was just like really unfortunate. I could imagine that Josh was banking on being able to get to spin that stress, do a 2K or a 4K or one of the one Talon rolls that it has available to it. But that was not in the cards, because even if he was planning that, he was just like a millimeter or so outside of arc, and he couldn't even get the chance to shoot. I mean, so much of this game. That's why, again, if you're new to playing, like you need to get good at not bumping everything around when you touch it. You need to get good at being like careful and deliberate with all of your movements and placing of the ship, and making sure you're not just like bumping everything, because as you can see in that moment, that could have been a game changer, because now Josh's Tin Num is completely just flying off into the galaxy. Whereas if he got to shoot and then probably spin that stress, he could do a 2K. He'd have a range 1 shot out of arc lined up on Hef. Easy, right? Again, he's still at risk of dying before he gets a chance to shoot with Andrew's wedge run around. However, just that millimeter worth of difference is the difference between Tin Num shooting this turn, most likely, or doing what he's doing, which is just a terrible position right now for Josh, because he has both of his ships going off in either direction. Lando can still shoot, so that's good. You're going to see Lando either focus down on Hef, or maybe I imagine he's going to go for Hef. Hef doesn't have anything. That's interesting. Hef, so it's range 3. I wonder if it's through that gas cloud. If it's through that gas cloud, it's pretty big. Hef bumped, so he doesn't have any tokens or anything. So it's a naked Hef. But I think he has a range 3 shot unobstructed lined up on Tin Num. He's got the health to endure a unmodified shot. All right, wedge shooting, turning left, banking to the left there. So it's probably a good call. It's probably good that he didn't get greedy and try and turn in and get a pot shot on Tin Num. Tin Num, or Josh's Tin Num. It's so frustrating that they both threw Tin Num. Josh's Tin Num, flying off. He's not a threat right now. Obviously, ideally, I would have loved to kill. I would have been super tempted at trying to turn in, make that one hard work. I don't know if you would have ran into that asteroid right there, but like make that one hard work and then run Tin Num down. But you see he's lining up. He's got great angles in this next turn, the next 2 turns probably on Lando. It'll take 1, maybe 2 turns for Josh's Tin Num to get back into the fight. All right, so there you go. Lando focused down on Hef, removing him before he gets a chance to shoot. And I think editing Patrick messed up there. Did not remove Hef off of the stat board there. Don't worry, Hef is gone, never to return. All right. Andrew's Tin Num sinking his teeth into Josh's untouched Lando, taking 2 shields. Yeah. I'm telling you, when he when he gets a chance to start focus down. See, I wonder. I think the right call here is to get after Lando, because he can weather some damage on his Tin Num. His Tin Num, Andrew's Tin Num, is untouched. And if he does like a 3 bank with Wedge, and then does like a 2 hard with Tin Num, then I think he'll still be out of range of Josh's Tin Num for this turn, which is doing that 1 Talon roll, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I still have the 1.0. All right, 1 bank. Okay. Oh, he's probably going to do a barrel roll to set up that stress. I think that's what he's doing. But anyways, like I was saying, I still have the 1.0 B-Wing stuck in my head like forever, because I actually flew it and I haven't flown the 2.0 one. And it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that 1 Talon roll. But it's a thing. All right, so we got a stressed up. So I think he target locked into a red linked barrel roll. So he's got the target lock. He can, let's see, it's Tin Num, so he can spin the stress. I think it's as a focus. He can spin the stress to change focus. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry if you're a Tin Num lover and you're just screaming at the screen right now at me and my dumbness. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's the dream setup, right? Is a target lock with a focus token. Lando is able to do that. Target lock with a focus token. Tin Num is effectively able to do that, because he can link a target lock into a red barrel, which gives him the stress that he can spin like a focus, right? That's why like again, being a Finn Fang fighter flyer, you want and you dream for that target lock and focus setup, but it just never happens because you just don't have the time to set up. Like, you're usually spinning your fin doing other things, right? Like, you're not spinning your fin trying to get a target lock and then get a focus next turn. No, you're spinning your fin trying to kill people, right? Because that's what Finn does. He's good at it. But anyway, so you never see that, right? You never see that setup, which was, you could basically get that set up on every single ship that you wanted to in 1.0, which definitely got hardcore scaled back in 2.0, and I think that was definitely the correct decision. All right, throwing some dice. Ooh. Wedge whiffing. It's rough. So I mentioned doing like a 3 bank on Wedge. I think it was either a 2 or a 1. Anyways, him turning inside of that rock, I think is the right call, because he can now turn around and initiative kill Josh's Tin Num if he so chooses, and then Andrew's Tin Num has the slow maneuverability to still kind of just like stick in Lando's side, be the thorn in his side till his eventual death, maybe, potentially. That being said, this game is starting to come up on time, so, and that is definitely a consideration. And man, this is a killer game for Josh, because he does not have half health on Wedge. So he's got to hope to get he just needs 1 more hit on Wedge, right? And then he needs 5 damage on Tin Num to get half points. But as he stands right now, yes, he's killed Jack Borkins and Hafthaber. So he's sitting at, what is it, 92 points. But it could be so much more if you had that half point. You know, if you had Wedge, which is Andrew's most expensive ship, at half points, you know, then I'd be feeling pretty good as Josh. Like, all right, you know, get Tin Num. You could either get him at half points, or you could easily kill Tin Num if you focus down on him. Like it can go surprisingly quick, you know. But not having Wedge at half points right now, I think is killing Josh. Andrew's easily got Tin Num. Andrew's got Tin Num at half points. He could very easily get Lando at half points. And again, like, he doesn't have to kill these ships to win. Whereas Josh is a long way from competing with Andrew's point lead. Well, you know what? Let me backtrack there. You know what? I think actually Josh has the lead, but Andrew has the position. Andrew can kill Tin Num, which would give him the lead handedly. So I think I'd be focused on initiative killing his Tin Num with Wedge, and then focus on getting Lando, try and get him down to half health. But even if you don't, if you kill Tin Num and you don't suffer any more half pointage, then you win. This is really close. This is a very close game. I think I got ahead of myself there because I just saw all of the brighter red shield icons gone on Josh's side, whereas Andrew has less shield, but he's got a significant amount of damage too over on his stat board. All right. So I wonder if Andrew thinks that Josh is going to go fast, or he's trying to block. We got a 3 bank. Let's see. Oh yeah, he clears it. But I think that Tin Num will still be able to shoot. I think he'll still have an arc. Just because it's a large base ship. If it wasn't a large base ship, I wouldn't be feeling so good about it. But yeah, he missed that obstacle. But oh yeah, it's so close. It's so close. All right, I think Andrew is really focusing on Wedge. Because not only could he get him at half points, he could easily kill Wedge. I mean, Wedge is rough to kill, especially with that elusive and the deal with the devil Andrew has concerning elusive. But man, if he just blanks and Josh gets some good red rolls and Wedge, doesn't somehow manage to kill Tin Num, and then he could easily just pop Wedge, and I think that would pretty much be the game. Because if that happens, so if Wedge dies and Tin Num doesn't die, and Josh's Tin Num doesn't die, Andrew's Tin Num, the B-Wing's strength is that it's slow and it can maneuver in tight spaces really well and get around on you. Its weakness is that it's slow, right? It doesn't necessarily have, you can still move pretty good, but it doesn't necessarily have the maneuverability to get back in that fight. So I think if he kills Wedge and Josh has points, and then he could just fly away. He could just avoid Andrew's Tin Num and win off points. which would be a frustrating situation with a B-wing. I tell you that. All right. Okay. All right. Boom. That wedge ability coming in clutch. So he spins the target lock. So he rolls first, only gets one hit. Spins the target lock to get 2 hits. But because wedge denies him the green dice, the 1 green dice that he has, he just takes it. That's an initiative killed, dead to numb. All right. Andrew's got to be sweating here. Because I think I don't have the points. Our next video is going to have all the point trackingness. I think if he gets half health, I think Josh has points. Let's see, 112 points. So Andrew has 112 points. Josh has, so he had 90, what did I say? I said 92, but now he has half health on wedge. That's an extra, I'll never do math in public. Oh my goodness. 29 points. Yeah, so that puts Josh in the lead. Josh is winning. But we'll see if he can hang on to that half points on Lando. I don't know exactly what the time is. We only have 2 rounds max left in this game. Maybe 3 if you just get a bunch of no-shot rounds and everyone flies through. But not a lot of time left in this game. Wedge has got to get around. Josh can just run away with Lando. I don't know if he's tracking because it's really close. I don't know if he's tracking that he's got the points on him now. It's easy to get like tunnel visioned into that in the sense that you see he has 2 ships and you only have 1, so he might not be aware that he's winning right now. But he is. See, I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that extra boost. He needs. That's a tough spot. Yeah, he needs to get away from 10 numb, but that put him in a better position. Maybe he was thinking about killing wedge. They're out of range. So. Yeah, that was a good call on Andrew's part to do that 4K instead of like turning in. So he recharges the elusive with the 4K. So that's one reason. And then also, if he would have turned in, thinking to get a round on him in the next turn or something, Lando would have gotten a free shot there on wedge, and that would not be a good situation for Andrew. Because that could have easily resulted in a dead wedge. That's a dead wedge, not only because you're only rolling 2 dice, but in that scenario, he would not have done that 4K and he'd not have recharged elusive. So yeah, a dead wedge would have clinched it for Josh, for sure. All right. Get into this either the last round or the second to last round. And things are close. Josh has just the slightest point lead over Andrew. Let's see what they do. I think, Josh might have a rough time avoiding that rock with that boost. It's easy to get carried away with those large base ships now and not realize just how far they take you. I mean, Josh plays with the Falcon a lot, so I'm sure he's aware of that. But I don't know if he can. I think he has to do a hard turn here, unless he. I think And the lighting's a little weird, but I'm pretty sure that's an asteroid. Okay. He... Alright. Took a damage. Yeah, okay. So, there we go. There's some shenanigans. Now, before you get all up in arms, he is allowed to do what he just did because... let's see, you got to lawyer this, basically. So he did a blue maneuver, right? He landed on the rock, yes, which causes him to skip his perform action step, which is explicitly what it says in the rule book, right? But he triggers a free action off of the completed blue maneuver, right? So he gets a free action in the maneuver step, in the movement step, before going into the perform action step. So he still skips his perform action step because he landed on the rock. However, he's allowed to do that boost off of the rock, in so much as his boost template, doesn't land on. In so much as he can complete the boost maneuver according to the rules, he can boost off of the rock. You'll kind of see the same thing with afterburners, and the Naboo fighter, with their evadeness. So if you weren't aware of that, now you are. This really is a great game for like pre-law. If you're a pre-law student, you should start playing X-Wing, like hardcore, or X-Wing, or just tabletop games in general, because a lot of them end up being like, you have to go back to not only the rule book, but like in 40K, for instance, you're referencing like several different books. You're like having to do the whole like, well, what does this say and what does this say compared to this? And unless there's like an explicit FAQ or an errata put out, then you have to like take, precedence into account, and stuff like, well, it says this here and it says this here and it uses this wording here and here. Therefore, because it uses different wording here, it means this, or because it uses the same wording here, it means, like, you have to straight up be a lawyer. So if you're pre-law, you should play this game. If you're really good at stuff like that and you're not a lawyer, you might look at it. Don't quit your day job though. Go to law, go to night school, go to online. All right. All right, so the timer has rung. It has rungadid, which means this is the last round. So, this is so close. So again, Josh has the slightest lead. At least I believe he has, unless I did my math wrong. Oh. All right, elusive for the win. Okay, so I misspoke. This is the last round. All right, so that was huge. And so elusive saved him again, right? Like he got to re-roll with elusive, which he had just recharged again. I don't play with elusive a lot, but I'm sure it's probably pretty easy to forget to do, like when you get in the heat of the moment, to forget to do red maneuvers to recharge it, or you just don't get the opportunity to. All right. Oh my goodness. If he gets around, if he gets greedy and tries to kill Wedge or something and gets around into 10 nums. Ooh, he might be. He might be. That might just be like just a hair in. You're going to see a 1 hard. You got to see. It's got to be a 1 hard. Come on, Andrew. Channel the inner Patrick. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Now it's a 1 bank. No. All right. Let's see. Okay, so he's going for the defense. He's going for the I don't want to die play. Lando getting the first shot. Looks like it's a good roll. 3 hits coming at him. He's got 2 health left. He turns one of those. And he lives. Whew. See that cloud? I mentioned it. I mentioned it before. It just saved his life. And I think his game. All right, so I know who advanced from this. Andrew won. All right, thank you for joining us for Game 2. Catch Game 3 of the tournament. You'll see Andrew play Julian, another great opponent, and we'll see who takes it.